Here's the million-dollar question. When should you harvest? Picture two farmers with identical land and seeds. Farmer A harvests tomatoes at the first sign of red, impatient, hoping for quick returns. Farmer B waits, picking only when the tomatoes are perfectly ripe and deeply colored. On market day, Farmer A's tomatoes are pale and unsold. Farmer B's, sold out, with customers raving and paying more. The difference, timing. It's the skill that separates struggling farms from thriving ones. Harvest timing impacts quality, weight, shelf life, and profit. For small-scale growers, mastering this is the foundation of a successful business. It's not just about growing food, it's about building a resilient, profitable enterprise. In this guide, we'll show you how to match crops to seasons, spot peak ripeness, and avoid costly mistakes. We'll use real numbers to show how timing affects yield and profit, even on a tiny plot. Think of every seed as an investment. Timing your harvest is how you maximize your return. This isn't complex science, it's about observation, planning, and smart decisions. Let's unlock the full potential of your land, one perfectly timed harvest at a time. Profitable farming starts before you plant a single seed with a solid plan. Your blueprint should outline what you'll grow, when you'll plant, and when you'll harvest. Start with your market. Are you selling to chefs or families? Their needs dictate your crops. Map out each crop's growing cycle and schedule plantings to meet demand at peak times. On a small plot, focus on high-density, quick turnaround crops and succession planting. For example, harvest radishes in 30 days, then replant with lettuce, then spinach, tripling your bed's productivity. Estimate yield and market price for each crop, then track expenses to find your most profitable performers. Sometimes a small patch of specialty herbs out-earns a larger area of low-value crops. This data-driven approach is what separates professional growers from hobbyists. A smart plan is your key to a financially sustainable farm. Every crop has its own rhythm: fast, medium, or long cycles. Fast cycle crops like radishes and arugula are ready in 20-50 days, bringing in quick cash and allowing multiple plantings per season. Medium cycle crops, beans, carrots, head lettuce, take 50-80 days and form the backbone of your offerings. Interplant fast crops around medium ones to maximize space. Long cycle crops, garlic, potatoes, winter squash, need 80+ days, but yield big and store well for off-season sales. Match each crop's preferences to your climate and season. Planting tomatoes too early or spinach in summer leads to poor results. Use local planting guides, but keep your own records. Your microclimate matters most. Over time, your notes will become your best resource. Mastering crop cycles lets you plan for steady harvests and profits. Harvesting is about catching crops at their absolute peak when flavor, nutrition, and market value are highest. Visual cues are key. Lettuce heads should be full and firm, carrot shoulders visible, zucchini picked young and tender. Touch matters too. A ripe melon slips from the vine, winter squash skin resists a fingernail. Taste is the ultimate test. Sample your crops to confirm peak flavor. This hands-on approach makes you the expert on your own produce. When customers ask, "How does it taste?" you'll answer with confidence. Consistently harvesting at peak builds your reputation and lets you charge a premium. Observation and experience are your best tools. Quality harvests start with knowing exactly when to pick. Let's talk numbers. How smart harvesting turns small plots into real profit. A 30-inch by 25-foot bed can yield 31 pounds of gourmet salad mix per harvest. At $10 per pound, that's $310 from one bed in a single harvest. Harvest too early or late and you lose yield or quality, costing you over $100 per cycle. With fast crops, you can replant and harvest the same bed 4 times a season. $1,240 from one bed. 10 beds, that's $12,400 from a small area. Keep costs low. Seeds, compost, and your time are the main expenses. Focus on high-value, quick turnover crops and perfect your timing. You don't need acres, just a smart plan and sharp execution. Every decision, every harvest window, directly impacts your bottom line. Small-scale farming can be big business with the right strategy. Even experienced growers make mistakes that cost them money. Harvesting too early, driven by impatience, means smaller, less flavorful crops and lower prices. Harvesting too late leads to overripe, bitter, or unsellable produce and more waste. The solution? Patience and daily observation. Catch crops in their narrow window of peak maturity. Mishandling during harvest is another pitfall. Bruised or damaged produce loses value fast. Use clean, sharp tools and handle everything gently. Post-harvest, get crops out of the sun and into cool storage quickly to preserve freshness. A shaded washing station and cold water can add days to shelf life. Don't forget to plan your harvest workflow. Have containers, cooler space, and time set aside. A smooth, efficient harvest day means less stress and less loss. Avoid these common mistakes, and your profits and reputation will grow. Preparation and care make all the difference. We've covered the journey from planning to perfect harvests and real profits. The secret isn't luck, it's knowledge, observation, and action. Mastering timing gives you control over quality, yield, and income. Start small, focus on a few high-value crops, and perfect your timing. Keep records. Your own data is your best teacher. You don't need acres or fancy equipment. You can start in your backyard or a few raised beds. As you gain skill, scale up intelligently, the system works at any size. Most importantly, take action and join the community. Share your experiences and learn from others. Farming thrives on collaboration. Let's grow not just great food, but a network of successful small-scale farmers. Now get out there and start growing.